And ladies, come close. Y'all can understand, right? What you're not about to do is tell me one thing, then go tell that bitch something else.
Shade.
It's not shade, it's the goddamn truth. But anyways, welcome back to High and Mighty with H&M.
I'm Harris.
And I'm McCray. Today's episode actually features a really, really tasty loaded spaghetti with cheesy garlic bread and fresh garlic string beans with fresh olive oil. We're going to unpack all of that. But before we do, we're going to give you a few seconds to drop down, like the video, and subscribe right now. Tell a friend.
Dear Lord Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this food that we're about to receive. I ask that you bless the hands that prepared it. In your name, Jesus, I pray, amen.
Amen. So today, tell the people a little bit about the details on our entree.
Like he said, it's a loaded spaghetti. So we have a spaghetti sauce with red wine. We put a bunch of seasoning and herbs and things in there. We have meatballs, turkey, pepperoni, and turkey Italian sausage. And for the green beans, he did salt and pepper with fresh garlic. And like he said, we have cheesy garlic bread.
You said he did. You didn't even tell them the whole point of this.
Oh, I'm sorry. So basically, this is a reverse day. So we had two cards. Check our other social media so you can see how we did it. But we had two cards. I had two different options, and this is one of the options that he picked. So he had to make it all by himself today. So I will be doing the dishes, and he did all the cooking.
For a change, actually. I'm actually really excited about that. And what inspired you to be wanting me to role reverse with you?
I just thought it would be a good idea. And he always say, I think he can't cook. So, I let him get a little bit of shine, so y'all can see what he could do.
And how did I do?
Let me taste. Y'all, this is hitting. This is good as F. With that red wine sauce just took it up another notch. You taste it for yourself and see how you did.
Oh, I know it's good because I was actually tasting it as I go because I'd be so nervous cooking for somebody who was a chef. It was like, what do you buy somebody who has everything in the world? Like, I didn't know. So I wanted to make sure that the pasta was al dente and everything tastes the way it's supposed to taste.
This is bomb.com, y'all.
Well, thank you. I actually wanted to, even though it was my day to roll reverse and cook, I still wanted to make sure that I used him as much as I could. And I think that he's a wealth of knowledge. So I did want to make sure that I learned a little bit. And today I learned about beef base. I actually never put that in my spaghetti, and I always make brown spaghetti, but I've never done that. So I still was able to pick up a few little tricks of the trade with learning from him. So thank you so much for feeding into me.
You're so welcome.
Yes, that's cute. Get it? Feeding into me?
Yes. I did get it, yes.
It's good. But yes, this is really good. I'm actually glad that we had a roll reversal today.
And it seemed like it's just a good day for spaghetti,
Yes. I didn't expect you to want this, and I didn't expect it to be on one of the cards. I'm so glad I didn't pick the other card because please tell these people what was on the other card.
So we had, on the other card, we had chicken stir fry, white rice, and egg rolls. And he was going to make egg rolls from scratch. We don't buy...
How you going to tell me what I was going to do?
Frozen egg rolls. We don't buy pre-made egg rolls. We do from scratch over here.
I can get a bag of egg rolls from the Chinese store.
Nah.
There's one
I was going to help him out, of course, but he was going to be making it by himself.
So needless to say, I'm so glad that this was the entree because making and rolling egg rolls from scratch and all of this stuff was just more than I had to do. This is something that, like I said, I could learn a little bit from him, but it still was in my wheelhouse. So it actually was really dope, and I appreciated the fact that I chose correctly. Oh my God, Jesus.
These green beans are good too. Seasoned well. The garlic is giving a nice touch.
Thank you. I do well with seasoning. I try. That's one thing that I always worked on because my grandma always said people always fuck up with the seasoning, and maybe try not to overdo it. You can always add more seasoning, but I've
He
been
had
trying to
me
get good at
waiting
it.
all day to eat, y'all, for him to cook.
No, I didn't.
Waiting all day. I was starving. I ain't eat all day.
He had me waiting all day. He made me do all the work, y'all.
My
First of all,
stomach was singing all day.
he's a liar. And he
But I'm
making me
eating
do all the
now,
work.
so I'm very happy.
I've been editing content for y'all. I'm trying to make sure we were ready to debut. So I was busy with that all day. I actually had a terrible day. So when I got home, I actually just tried to put that behind me and get to work. But yes, it did cause me to be a little bit delayed. And I find that to be a trend in our relationship just because I'm always feeling like I'm under the bus when it comes to the load of work that I got to do.
Well, I don't want him to feel under the bus. I know he has a lot of stuff to do. That's why I, just usually let him be, let him do his stuff. I can be kind of pushy sometimes, but I try not to be.
Kind of pushy sometimes. I feel like he lacks objectivity, and I want him to become more objective sometimes. I don't know if he is like lacking objectivity or if he is like being willfully obtuse in some situations. Some things that we kind of like, get into or notice about each other just kind of comes up whenever it's like, those kind of dull moments. So I definitely noticed that. And that's something that I want to bring up in therapy the next time that we have our session because it's not a big deal. And I feel like he thinks I broke stuff up out of proportion. And I just want things to not manifest themselves later on in other places. I just want things to like kind of not become foundational as it pertains to like our character and our personalities. Having an off day or having an off moment is fine. But when these things become like part of who you are, gotta start trying to see, But anyway, our next segment is getting to know H&M. So in our previous videos, we've been giving you guys details about our relationship, details about us as individuals and as a couple, and trying to make sure that you guys have the time to get to know us, and we don't want to rush it. So what we've decided, since we've already kind of started on this trend, is to give you guys little details and move the story along as to our union as time goes by. Last time we talked about how we met, and so I think it's cute to talk about like kind of the beginning of our relationship. So that's what the next segment is. Stay tuned. Our last episode, we were discussing how me and Cliff met, where we met, how we met, and I was hell bent on not really being in a relationship, wasn't looking for nothing serious, and he was saying, "You gonna be mine. You gonna be mine." Literally ignoring me as I'm saying, "I'm not really." And so now my question to you is why?
Well, because like I said, I liked your vibe. I liked your personality. And when you want something, you try to get it. You do anything in your powers to get it.
In your opinion, you think I gave you a hard time? Too much of a hard time? Just right? Like, was it? What did you like it? What?
I don't think it was too much a hard time. I mean, you did give me a time, but it wasn't a hard time.
We were kind of talking and stuff like that, and I, again, in trying to get to know him, I still wanted to maintain a certain level of newness, right? I didn't want to come in talking about too much of our past and too much of the things that we dealt with in our exes and da. So I steered clear from those kind of conversations right away. I think that he tried to talk about like, my ex or my last situation, and I kind of stopped him like, hey, listen, we're just getting to know each other. How about we not like talk about baggage and just kind of like get to know each other first? I realized quickly that had I not said that, I would have learned more, but then again, it may have made me run away, but I don't know. But anyways, so
run away from me, y'all.
I was adamant about not really like diving too deep into like, getting too personal. What was your thought process when we first met? Do you see it the same way?
Yeah, I kind of see it the same way.
Okay.
I do.
I just want to make sure I'm not capping.
Nah, you're not.
A lot of times I be telling a story and
You're
the
not
person be like,
capping.
so one day I kind of like decided to like drop the facade. We were on the phone talking, and he said something about his ex, and it was some details. I'm not sure exactly what, but it was something about maybe some people that maybe we had in common, or some I was filming on a reality show, so I'm not sure exactly
That's
what it was
was.
that made. No. I don't think it was that. But the reason why I say that,
It was.
No, the reason why I say that is because you said something and I said, I know who your boyfriend is. And you was like, you said that you aren't from here and don't really know a lot of people that.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, that's true. But I'm on a reality show and I think I know who your boyfriend is. And so I think if reality show was the forefront of that, I don't think I would
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
because I think when he said reality show, I was like,
And I was like, I'm on.
show?
I said no. I'm on a reality show, and I know because I have a strong intuition about stuff. People like always kind of think I'm crazy in the beginning of a lot of situations because I'm always pegging stuff, and this sounds far fetched. So they're like, ugh. And really, they come back like, bitch, how did you know? But I always peg stuff right away. So it was something that he said, and I said, oh, jigs up. I know who your ex is. And he's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, I do. He said, but you said you weren't from here. I said, no. I know who your ex is. I'm actually filming a reality show, a gay reality show right at this moment. I know exactly who that is. And so then his mouth kind of dropped, like, oh shit. Because I think that was
did.
I think that was a detail that he was like not ready for. What were you thinking?
I was thinking, oh shit.
Did you think I wasn't gonna want to be bothered, or did you think I was gonna? You think I had heard bad stories about you? Because that is true. But go ahead, we'll get to that later.
I didn't think you didn't want to be bothered. I was just thinking, like, if I date this boy, like, I mean, this guy, like, and my ex find out who it is, like, it's gonna be some drama. And it was, but we'll get to that.
Now you might be thinking, how could I start dating a guy that was previously just dating somebody that I was on a reality show with and not know? Well, the thing is, I actually caught a lot of flack on the show that season because I wasn't filming a lot with the cast during that time frame. First of all, the show was kind of subpar when it comes to production, and they only had certain small tight windows during a certain small tight period of the year where we could film. So that was one thing. As you know, and anybody who follows me already know, I'm busy. I'm traveling. I'm getting booked, master classes, teaching. I teach kids. I do a lot of different stuff. I have my own shows, performances. I have a brand. So because of that, I was like kind of doing stuff and sending in footage. Fun fact, Lance, who you guys, if you follow me, you might know, he actually was the videographer on that show. He wasn't getting paid. I found that out later.
Ooh, the shade is real, y'all.
The shade was real as fuck because I found out.
The shade is real.
I couldn't believe it. I said, but anyways, I met him on that show. But anyways, so I had been sending in footage and traveling and doing different stuff, and I would film with the cast here and there. I filmed with this said individual once or twice. And it's so funny because when we first started filming, I wanted to kind of like use my art to gain visibility on the show. So as soon as I heard that it were people that performed and did other type of different art, I'm like, okay, cool, let's collaborate. That's a great way to be able to capture us being castmates on the show. But that kind of fell through because bitches weren't really trying to work for real. Anyways, we come in and I'm coming in here and there, and I'm hearing that people are kind of like feeling a way about me because I'm on the show and I'm kind of, coming in and out and not like carrying the load that they're carrying, what they think, because they don't know that I have a cameraman and I'm sending in footage and I have master classes and stuff like that. Like I have a whole thing going on. Like I'm showing more on the show than you could ever do, first of all.
Shade.
It's not shade, it's the goddamn truth. But anyways, so I filmed with that individual a couple times, and one of the times somebody asked him like, what's wrong? Why are you down? Da, da, da. You seem like you're not yourself today. And he started going on about his boyfriend, about how it was this and it was that, and he was so stressed out and he couldn't believe it. He was going through so much, but never really said his name. Because if I heard the name Cliff and then I met a Cliff, I would have been like, oh, that's funny. I filmed, and it would have been one of my friends. But
he probably would have been like, yeah, this low down ass nigga.
I would have, because the remarks about him on the show were disparaging, but I did not know who we were talking about. And I wasn't really invested into their storylines because, like I said, I had been out of town. So that explains why I wouldn't have known what was going on. So we were both completely blindsided by the correlation and the connection.
And I will say, at the time that I was dating him and he was on the show, I do remember, I don't know if I told you, but I do remember him mentioning somebody named Devereaux, but I didn't really care about the show, so it like went in one ear.
Was he mentioning me bad or good?
Bad. It was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. It was.
I bet.
He came in. He was like, I had a problem with this bitch named.
No, they was mad. Let me say why they was mad. They was mad because they put me out on a confessional. The day that I'm talking about where we all met, it was at Smoothie King.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled me out and said, let's do a confessional. They asked me what my opinion was of the show and the people on the show. I said, well, the people on the show was cool. Everybody's nice. I did think I would see a lot more working. I came on the show offering my services, which are expensive, to make sure that we had something to film. And it seems like everybody want to kind of like sit down at diners, argue about dumb shit, and not really have no substance. And even in the most drama filled reality shows, we are doing something. We have a point. We got businesses. We got stuff. We got endeavors that we are a part of. It's stuff going on in our lives. And I was really, really just like put off by the fact that one, the show didn't want to film us outside of the set little tight times they had. They didn't want to follow our lives for real. And what's a reality show if you're not following the lives of the cast?
True.
And then I voiced those concerns. My concerns were voiced based on production and what production had promised me was going to happen and what production was going to promise me would be. That's what I was saying when I was giving my confessional. Production messy ass went and played my confessional for the cast after I went back out of town. So I come back in town, everybody want to have a meeting with me. Everybody want to have a meeting, they mad. I walk in the meeting, I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing, yeah, girl? How you doing? They're like, no, we want to have a talk. Now, that part of a reality show, they got right, but it was just bullshit. Like, we ain't even did nothing. Like, girl, come to my event where y'all filming us be successful black business. 10 years this year, by the way. Come to my event and bring and then come and argue with me. Because then there's a point to this stuff. Then, whatever. But like, it was just not being, done the right way. So my comments were towards production. But they weaponized that to the cast, which is, again, not ironic in the least when it comes to reality shows. So I had my opinion with that. And the reason why I started the Devereaux Stone show is because they wanted us to, again, keep on filming our own confessionals, keep on filming our own content and send it back in. And I just felt like if we are going to film our own stuff, then we might as well be filming our own show.
Exactly.
And I reached out to Lance to film for us because I felt like, okay, he is a videographer on the show, a producer on the show, but also he has a business. He has a company where he shoots and captures events for a living. So I just reached out to him like, hey, got a job for you. And he came completely on board with my show because we had stuff going on. And when he got here, he was completely flabbergasted, mouthed out to the floor because he didn't know that we had so much going on because production wanted to keep it into this little, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, that is the beginning of our relationship.
No, tell him the stuff that that my ex was saying that probably would have discouraged you from me if you didn't know who I was.
Things your ex said that would have discouraged you.
That discouraged you.
Would have discouraged me.
Yes.
From being
there were lies, mind you. There were 100% lies.
Well, so first of all, he wasn't saying much. He just was saying, I don't really feel this today, y'all. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna just sit over here. The cast was like, no, come over here. We're friends. What's wrong? You seem like you're not yourself. And then somebody's like, well, is that situation you was talking to me about? And it was like, yeah. No names were given, but it was just like, yeah, like, I'm just, so tired of paying for everything and just everything being on me. And I just like, my man, he doesn't work and he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. I don't know what to do, but I can't. And so people's response was, well, girl, like, you do know what you got to do. You should get rid of that. You should, like, get the fuck on. And he was like, no, but I can't leave him in a bad position. That's terrible. I would never do that to nobody.
You can't leave me in a bad position.
I have too much of a good heart for that. And so, again, the reason why production was mad at me as well was because I was sitting on live. I was on Facebook Live, sitting there, and I was like, with my scarf and doing my stuff. I actually could put it, if I could find the footage, I'll put it out instead of right here. But anyway, I was on live, and they felt like I was like, giving away stuff on the show or whatever. So, but my point is, during that conversation, I wasn't a part of it. I didn't know them, so I didn't have any reason to do that. But again, I'm very observant. I'm a Libra, so I was like, interesting. Never in a million years did I think I was going to meet the guy that was in question.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, why were you so shocked that that's what was said?
Because that's so not true. Like, I'm a hardworking man. I've been that way.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Aside from it not being true, was it the complete opposite?
Yes, it was the complete opposite. Shit, he wasn't working. He was going from job to job to job to job to job to job to job. Yeah, I was paying all the bills basically. Buying food, buying all the utilities, I was basically doing everything myself, trying to support him. So yeah, it definitely was the other way around.
That's so interesting. So yeah, so anyway, back to the story. I met him. We are on our whirlwind love affair. We spent a couple weeks talking to each other, getting to know each other. Maybe not a couple weeks, maybe like within a week. So I met him that same week. Like a few days into us talking. But before we saw each other, I found out this tidbit of information. And at the time, I felt like I hear what he's saying, but I just met him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the other bitch. So believing or picking sides is not really a thing that I'm trying to do because it's not really whatever.
And you could have just heard what he said.
I can see. And... No. I can see who's telling what by just having my own discernment and paying attention.
Yeah.
So I don't run out of any situation quick. But you didn't know that about me at the time.
No, I didn't.
But I'll let you know that what was said, and that I couldn't believe like that you was the one. And so it was interesting to me to like find that out, but I didn't know who was telling the truth or who was what, and I just kind of like wanted to like kind of chill out. Again, I wasn't feeling serious, so I was like, well, you know what? Let's have fun with this. Let's see what's going on. Let's see who's telling the truth. Let's see what's what. And I started to see his character, and even that sometimes when you first meet a guy, it can be an act. Never get your head too big off of what a guy do for you in the first week. Because, it could all like, you ever seen that movie with LaToya Luckett and Tank? Enough said, okay? If you didn't get up to speed, if you don't know. But anyways, so I didn't really take it I took it for what it was worth. I didn't take it, and we started talking more, and he started saying that he wanted to tell his ex. No. I started saying that I wanted to tell his ex because we were on a hiatus for the show when I met him. But I knew that I was going to be coming.
Was coming up.
I knew I was going to be coming back to film with them, and I knew that I was going to probably pick up another season with them. I like to be able to be busy, show my brand, And so while I was getting stuff together in the background, I still wanted to be like a part of stuff that was going on. And if I could try to help affect change and have things be better, that's what's up. And I started to tell him like, I'm not no fake ass bitch. Like I'm about to be sitting up here in this bitch face. We still got to film, and I have this information. But I ain't gonna say nothing. And that kind of made me feel like, I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't know this. That kind of made me feel like you wanted to control the narrative, or maybe you weren't telling me all the way truth, and so you wanted to kind of like ride the fence and kind of control it.
You told me that, but that wasn't the case. I just felt like, I should be the one. I mean, he shouldn't hear from you. I mean, he's not dating you.
Why'd you feel like that?
Because I feel like as a man, I'm dating him. I was dating him at the time. I'm not dating him. I'm dating you, and he knows you.
But you do understand how I would feel, though? Like,
I said I understand how you would feel. Okay. I understand how you would feel, but I just said that wasn't the case.
That's why I was so adamant about it. And he felt like he just told you he felt. So my whole thing was like, okay, fine. I wanted to put it all out in the open any motherfucking way. And I wasn't never trying to hide. So if that's what you want to do, fine. But I need to be there. Because what's not going to happen, and ladies, come close, y'all can understand, all right? What you're not about to do is tell me one thing, then go tell that bitch something else. And then now we sitting here and we thinking that it's on, and I'm sitting here thinking that it's handle, and that bitch thinking that it's handle, and it's really not. And now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it creates a lot of bullshit. I'm friends with all the girls, and I got a lot of brothers. So, nah.
I did think it was kind of pushy, because I'm like, I don't need you to be there for me to tell him.
You think I was being messy?
A little bit.
I wasn't.
Yeah, he probably like, yeah, let this nigga see who you would. Let this nigga see my face. Let him see my face.
I want my finest shit, bitch.
Let him see this face.
I had on a ball gown. Bella the ball, ho.
He's such a liar, y'all. But anyway, so before we even had a sit down, I actually told him that I was dating somebody. Oh my God, that shit was so funny.
You didn't tell him who?
No, I didn't tell him who at the time.
Next episode, we'll find out what happened at the meeting.
Yes. Stay tuned.
It's 10:30. You said we're gonna be over at 10:30. You lied.
Yeah. No, nigga, you said we was gonna be over at
You lied.
10:15. He lied first.
Okay, so next segment is we're going to be discussing our wedding process. Each video, and again, this is compiled over just our experience in doing our first couple of videos, our last videos that we did kind of touched on these things. So we want to make sure that you don't feel left out in the details or like we move on without you. So with that being said, the next segment is called the process. And we just kind of going to let you know where we are in the process of the wedding and let you know how we feel about these processes or what kind of feelings any of the things we're going through regarding the wedding may bring. You want to start?
Yes. Okay. So a couple of things that we have coming up. So next month we're going back to Buffalo, this guy's hometown. He has an drill event coming up. Make sure y'all stay tuned for that. We're going to be filming that as well, so you guys can see, his day-to-day work, what he does. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to Buffalo. We got a couple meetings. We're going to meet with the event planner. We're going to see where we're having the event at. We're going to meet with
The
coordinator. We're going to meet with the lady who's making our cake. She's a friend of ours. And she makes real delicious cake. I never had them, but they look really good. I can't wait to try it.
Yes, our venue is Knox Farm. We're going to be touring the venue, meeting with the coordinator, the day of coordinator. And the wedding planner is the person who kind of does the other half of the business at the venue and the admin work. So we're meeting with them when we come in town. We also have a really cool tasting with our caterers, Banchetti's,
yes,
who are also offering a full service bar with our wedding package, which actually is an awesome steal. So I'm really excited to do that. I'm excited to kind of make sure.
Sorry.
I'm really excited to do that. I'm excited to kind of like make sure that everything is up to par and just kind of like make sure we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's. I'm excited. Also, make sure you visit the Drill God page, follow and subscribe on YouTube and on Instagram, TikTok, because we will be live for the competition and all of the prep leading up to the competition. We have a team in the competition, and I'm actually going to be commissioner, and that's a huge part of Buffalo, New York, and the way they do drill team competition. So stay tuned to find out what that means.
Yes, and I'm just going just to go.
Yes, but we have a section because we are special guests, and Cliff is the lady who is coordinating the competition is also a friend of mine who actually was in business with us in the past and was supposed to be moving here, but things didn't really work out. We are going to be going there and helping her build her brand, and that is me being a part of that is a huge deal for her. So I want to make sure that we're going to show up for her, and she has like a row for special guests, and she wanted to make sure I knew that Cliff was included in that, and that was just so sweet to me.
Yeah, that's so nice of her.
Yeah, that was really sweet. I don't even know if I told you that, but Yana is dope for that. I really appreciate that. Where are we in the process, though, for the wedding? We do have that coming up. We are actually all set. We just got finished creating our group chats for our bridesmaids and groomsmen, letting them know what we decided on for actual attire. We actually did some AI bridesmaid images so that the bridesmaids, the groomsmen are kind of cool with seeing their suit, as guys as the bros. The girls, bridesmaids, are actually more invested in what they look like and kind of will get more of a kick out of seeing what it will actually look like, and you don't want to have any like resistance from the girls, so you want them to know what they're getting themselves into, and they, I'm sure, appreciate that as well. So we just got finished doing that.
We have a lot of our decorations picked out, decorations and decor and everything, so we have that picked out as well.
Yes, we decided on centerpieces. We decided on the decor for the entire ceremony. We know what the chairs are going to look like. We know what the aisle is going to look like. We know how the chairs are going to be decorated. We know how the curtains are going to be and how all of the altar will be set up. We know how the reception space will be set up. There's still a few little things that we have to get into the space to actually see what it's given. And we also want to work out a really cool way to pivot if it rains, because it's an outdoor wedding, but the space that we're renting the guest house of that space and the actual venue space at the mansion. So I'm sure we'll be able to have another alternative, but we just want to be ready. So I just don't want to be caught out there like Khalees. You know what I'm saying? Are any parts frustrating you about the wedding? Anything getting on your nerves? I've been saying that the wedding has not been as stressful as people make it look. When you watch Bridezillas and you watch, all of this content, the biggest day, and all of these things, it
The
makes you feel
stressful,
like
the stressful part, the only stressful part, and I think the biggest stressful part is spending freaking money. Weddings are not cheap. You always go over your budget, no matter how hard you try not to. So yeah, that's the biggest stress for me.
is it stress in general because of those details you just mentioned, or is am I stressing you out?
It's stress because of the details. I don't. You're not stressing me out. It's just I I have a calculator in my head, y'all. So we name it. We want this. We want this. We want this. We want this. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do. That shit is just like adding up, adding up, adding up, adding up, and it's not subtracting. It's adding. Other than that, like I'm good with everything else. I'm excited. I can't wait to see how everything comes together. You might see a little bit of tears in my eyes.